If your child is heading into the college application process, you've probably heard about the personal statement and how this important essay can make or break an application. It's not just a writing assignment. This is your students' chance to show colleges they really are more beyond just grades and test scores. It's their personality, their values, and their potential. And so in this video, I want to talk to you about what makes a personal statement truly stand out, common mistakes that students can make on them, and how you can guide your student without overstepping. Now make sure you hit subscribe because every week I have a new video for you on how to work towards a debt-free degree with your student. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we help families overwhelmed by the cost of college secure scholarships so they can help their student graduate with as little debt as possible. In fact, we've helped families secure over $15 million in scholarships to date, and we are not stopping there. Now, personal statements oftentimes can be used in admissions and in scholarship applications. So we've seen quite a few of these. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So first, let's talk about why personal statements matter. So in a sea of applications, admissions officers are looking for something that is memorable. The personal statement is often the only part of the application where a student can really use their voice and a unique story can really shine through. Good grades might get their application read, but a great personal statement can get them remembered. Now, again, just a quick hint, personal statements can sometimes be required for scholarship applications as well. So that said, if you want to learn where to find legitimate scholarships that your family can apply to, regardless of what the college gives you, go to my free webinar at thescholarshipsystem.com/free webinar, or you can click on this video here and check it out after this video. And I will also link to that in the description. So just remember that by doing a personal statement, we're already doing some of the work for scholarships. So why not find them and apply for them? Get your student to attend that free webinar with you, and you guys will be well on your way. Okay, let's start off with step one, and that is to start with a story, not a resume. Way too many students think of a personal statement as a resume or a list of achievements, but admissions officers already have that in the application. So instead, parents, what I want you to do is help your student open up with something personal, a specific story or experience that can really show their character. It could maybe be something like a challenge that they overcame, or a moment that changed their perspective forever, or maybe a small but meaningful experience that revealed something important to them, maybe even something that helped them figure out the major or career path that they want to pursue. Step two is show, don't just tell. This is something we talk about a lot in the scholarship system with our students and families. So instead of saying, "I'm a hard worker," your student should show this, show a story, paint a picture of the late nights studying or balancing a part-time job with this involvement and with good grades, or working late on a science fair project, or persisting through training for a marathon. These stories and the details with them stick in our memories far more than just vague claims of "I'm a hard worker." So for parents with this, ask your student, "Can you give me an example? You say here that you're a great leader. Can you give me an example? You say here that you're patient. Can you give me an example? What's a story?" And every time they can do that, that can make their essay all the more strong. All right, let's get into step number 3, and that is to focus on growth and reflection. So they're not just interested, colleges aren't just interested in scholarship committees as well, in what has happened, but they want to know what your student or child has learned from it. How is it going to affect them moving forward? So a strong personal statement connects the experience to how it shaped their goals, their values, their mindset, their future. And it answers, why does this matter to who I am today? That's a great way to think about this experience. It's not just an experience, but it's a transformation. How did it transform me, my mind, my opinions, my choices, my future? That's another conversation that you can talk to your student about. Step number 4 is all about keeping their voice authentic. So this is their story, not yours, not their English teachers, and definitely not ChatGPT's. So admissions officers, they can tell if an essay is over edited into something that's super formal, if a parent has written it, and we have found essays where they are blatantly clear that AI has written them. So parents, give feedback. That is fantastic. Help with clarity of sentences, the flow, help them brainstorm the stories behind things, ask the questions that really get them to think deeper instead of giving them the right answer. But please, please, please resist the urge to just rewrite it for them. You are only stifling their future, stifling their growth, and possibly even hindering their chances of being selected. Step 5 is to edit ruthlessly. Good writing is rewriting. I reused essays over and over when it came to scholarship applications and even admissions, specifically in a program I wanted to apply to. But every time we still edited it and revised it and revised it. Okay. So that first draft, it'll be messy. The second will be a little bit more clear. The third, even maybe the fourth, will be polished. So parents, suggest your student step away from the essay for a day or two. This is why we want to try and get ahead of the deadlines, and then come back with a fresh set of eyes. Spell check is a must, yes, but so is reading it out loud. That can really help catch awkward phrasing. A lot of times if we're reading it out loud, we'll stumble because maybe we're missing a comma or a word isn't quite right there. But this editing, this revision is so important to really fine tune. We never get it right on the first or second draft, okay? It's all part of the process, but no, like I said, I reused a ton. So once we get it polished, we can rinse and repeat with some small tweaks. Now I want to give you just a few common mistakes to avoid. So for your students, we want to make sure that they're not doing cliche topics without a personal twist. So sports wins, mission trips, moving to a new school, they can work, but only if they really have a deeply personal or unique story with it. If it's generally, I worked hard and I got good grades and I was captain of a football team, we need something a little bit deeper. Another mistake often is trying to use big words, but it's not very clear. It doesn't really fit. And honestly, clarity beats complexity every time. So let's not try to make it too fancy just for the sake of fanciness. The next mistake I see a lot is making it about someone else. So this is your student's personal essay. While they can talk about how a parent or a grandparent or aunt or sibling or coach inspired them, it should be a small line within it, not the core focus of the essay. We want them tooting their own horn. We have a great blog post that can give you some deeper dive on this, some actual examples. So it's college personal statement examples plus a template at the scholarship system. We will link to that down below in the description, along with that free webinar where you can find scholarships that will also ask for these personal statements. So if we're already writing it, let's go ahead and build a scholarship list as well where we can submit it. Now, comment below, has your student tried writing a personal statement? Where have they gotten stuck? Let us know in the comments and we can help you with that. So parents, your role here is a guide, a cheerleader, a gentle soundboard, not a ghostwriter, okay? We want to help your student dig in deeper to their experiences, ask questions, remind them of their best personal experiences and their qualities, and help them be uniquely themselves. But for the most part, your student has to be driving this. But hopefully this gives you some great tips on how you can support them with that and how you can help review it once they get those drafts done. All right, again, make sure that you give us a thumbs up if you found this helpful. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future videos. And lastly, make sure you check out that free scholarship training where I cover where I find legitimate scholarships with less competition so that you and your student can make the most use of this personal statement. I'll see you in the next video.